I'm gonna give Stitch a little bit of love too. He's right here. Gotta give him love. All right, so this morning we are taking a look at tailoring, definitely, and then a little bit of engineering. Although I'm not sure how much I'm gonna figure out about engineering, just because I don't know a whole lot about engineering. Um. So yeah. But I'm kind of curious, with both of them, both professions, I guess, how much is gated behind um profession knowledge, how much you can do kind of like out of the box without having to, gain a lot of profession knowledge, that kind of stuff. So I picked up tailoring and engineering already, and I bought some cloth because we need cloth. So when you get tailoring, you have two recipes to start with. This is just right out of the box tailoring. Good morning, Sea Thrift. Oh my goodness, I feel so honored. Uh-oh, she's gonna sink you. She is totally gonna sink you, Darkwing. So you can do two things right away. You were summoned by treasure. You do need to grab a life vest. Oh my goodness. And also murder. I mean, look. Treasure and murder, who could say no? So unraveling, this is I know a couple people have talked about this already, but you basically take 5 cloth and turn it into thread, and thread is used in some of the later the later recipes, and it looks like they've done some UI changes based on feedback to the profession screen, so you don't see all of your unlearned stuff already. If you want to see your unlearned, you can check it off and show it. Otherwise, and also you can change which expansion you're looking at stuff. But it was kind of a little confusing before, seeing everything and not knowing exactly what you could do and what you couldn't. It did get a little confusing, so I appreciate that. And the only other thing you can learn at the very beginning, or you can do at the beginning, is how to make band-aids. They're band-aids. So this is kind of what you're gonna do at the very beginning. Either you're gonna make some thread, which I guess I'm gonna make some thread because I feel like we're gonna need thread later. Oh my goodness, you both survived. It also looks like you can make thread from tattered wilder cloth, decayed wilder cloth, singed wilder cloth, and frostbitten wilder cloth. I'm wondering if those are just not as good, the lesser versions of the cloth, or you can make it from actual regular old wilder. We're gonna make some wilder cloth, and we're gonna see if Cradle works. Sometimes Cradle doesn't work with this new pane. Yeah, so this create all is annoying, where you have to loot something after every time you click it. This is not cool. And apparently this spool of thread has a rank to it. This is rank 1, quality 1. So you think you're gonna be really happy with that extra reagent bag, but actually your bags are gonna be full because there are 3 qualities of just about everything. So we are increasing our skill. The next recipe you can get from the trainer is at level 10, I believe. Let's double check that, because if we can make something other than just some spools of thread, and it's not consistent how many I did it, I'm up to 6, so I guess I did it 5 times and I have 29 thread. So it's definitely not fixed. Oh, I can get some cloth wrists. Wow, I can wrists. Cloth wrists. Back up. So we can now make Explorer's cloth bands, and we might have to move Alice today. We're gonna move the puppies, the puppy cam for at least for this morning over here, so that you can see the profession window a little bit easier. So poor puppies have to go to the other side of the screen. So these are item level 270, requires level 61. It looks like most of the new gear you have to be 61 to wear, so it's not like literally just walking into the Dragon Isles. You're gonna have to be one level into the Dragon Isles. And item level 270. So if your gear is not already 270, you can replace it really quickly, really easily with some crafted gear. So yeah. It takes 5 wilder cloth, a spool of thread. You can add the training matrix to make it a higher level, so that you could make it these are for level, one is for a level 65 and the rest are for level 70 characters, but I mean that's helpful. So we're gonna make one of these. There we go. It's I made 2. I apparently kept clicking. There's been a little bit of lag this morning on beta, but I don't know why it shows just 1 here, although I clearly made 2 of them here. Let's make a couple more. Oh, is it because I can't see my casting bar? Because I don't know where my casting bar is. Let's cast bar? Yeah, so I totally am not able to see my cast bar because of the interface. Let's see, let's try putting it there for now. See if that's... I didn't really want to save, but okay, whatever. I haven't played with the UI at all. So yeah. Alright, let's make another and see if we can see our cast bar. Yes, there we go. Now we have you can see the edge of the cast bar here. Now we're at 10. Great. Awesome. Wonderful. Let's learn some more recipes. So we can make shoes next. We can make a robe. So this is great because you know, I have some cloth wearers. Some of them aren't gonna have item level 270 clothes yet. Most of them aren't gonna have 70 clothes because I'm not gonna make unless we get some pre-patch or you know, expansion lead up that gives you some new gear. I'm not going to have good gear, so hopefully this will fill in some slots from questing. Oh, that's 15. We can't make that yet. Never mind. I lied. So it definitely makes sense at the start to do your unraveling because you are going to need thread. It looks like you're going to need thread for all of these. And so they said they were changing the way you could tell if something was still going to give you experience. And maybe I'm blind, maybe I'm confused as to how it works, but I don't know. I don't understand at a glance whether something's going to give me a skill up or not. I missed the colored text that told you whether you were going to get a skill up. Somebody said there was some sort of like icon that you could see, but I'm not seeing any indication in this pane to tell me that this is going to give me a skill up. Good morning, Dr. Jekyll. So let's make a couple of these threads. We'll make 5 of them. But I don't see anything that's telling me it's going to give me experience. So I don't really. Oh, we made a quality 2. You need coffee. I've got my coffee already. So I'm trying to see what the difference is between at this point, what's the difference between a quality 1 and a quality 2? It's 48 armor, 92 int, 190 stam, 48 armor, 92 int, 190 stam, 65 verse, 65 masteries. Yeah, so I don't know what the difference. Maybe wear out as quickly. I'm not sure what the distinction in quality level is for these. I'm not seeing anything, but okay, whatever. All right, we got to 15. Let's learn a few more. So this is all stuff you could do right out of the box. You can make this stuff immediately. We can learn how to make a robe. We can learn how to make a reagent bag. So that's, I have a feeling that people are going to be spamming, possibly spamming reagent bags, depending on the, depending on what it takes, what mats it takes. Everybody's going to be making reagent bags, but guess what? Everybody needs one. Literally, there is no reason that any character going to Dragon Isles should not grab a reagent bag. So let's, we got Wildercloth bolt. They're bringing back bolts of cloth. And then a tailor's coat, which is a tailoring accessory. So I'd like to make that on and see what that does as well. And again, I can't tell. Oh great, I like that this pushed the middle. I can't tell what is going to give me a skill up and what's not. Am I missing something here? Unless I filter it to have skill up? Is that really the only way I'm gonna be able to tell? Because I'm not visually seeing anything to tell me a goddamn thing, and I don't really like that. All right, so I'm gonna make this tailor's coat, which gives me inspiration and multi-craft. So we're gonna create that and see if we can put that on. That a profession accessory? Oh, I have to be 61 to use that. Never mind, I lied. And I don't like this either. Like, do you see it kind of like popped it off to the side of my my UI, like that's not cool. We don't like that. See what goes into the reagent bag. Oh, this is, unless they change this, these are gonna be worth almost nothing. I'm gonna be honest and say that they're gonna be worth almost nothing. They take a spool of cloth and 1 bolt. A bolt of wilder cloth takes 5, so basically you're gonna need 10 wilder cloth to make a reagent bag. That's it. That's nothing. So everybody, these are not going to be worth a whole lot, unless you're literally the first one to make them. And even then, I feel like these are, if you can get 10 wilder cloth, you're basically good. But let's equip that bag. Now we have a reagent bag. Hey, guy. So that's what that looks like. We can put our spool of wilder cloth in there. We can put our wilder thread. We can put our wilder cloth in there, and there we go. We've got our reagent bag, and we still need to level up a little bit higher. We've got 20 and 25, so let's make a few more things. Can I don't want to submit something for any particular recipe, but I want to submit feedback for. I guess I could do it for the recipe, like feedback. I can't visually tell whether this recipe will give me a skill up. I'd like to see the different color text again. Text or shading of the recipe to tell whether it will give a skill up. Green, yellow, orange. All right, let me submit that because I don't like not knowing. I don't know what there was supposed to be some sort of like icon of some sort, I thought, but I don't see it. I don't understand whether something's gonna give me a skill up or not. So yeah. We're gonna make a little bit of this gear just to get us up to 20. A robe, and we'll create shoes. Oh, now we're 20. And we'll learn some more recipes. We can learn a cloak. This is all beginner leveling gear. Item level 270 for people that are level 61 and higher. And then we can also make it at 60 or at 20. We can make a Wildercloth gardening hat. It's an herbalism accessory that gives you deftness and perception. So we'll make like 2 cloaks. That to disappear. And you can see that my expected quality is going up even as I'm not necessarily making any particular recipe, but just as my skill in tailoring is increasing, I have a chance to make a better quality item. And we'll make a gardening hat, even though we can't garden herbalist yet, but we'll make these. And I'm just making sure that I'm not missing something, that something would be a different color. It's not. So I don't know how to tell whether something's going to give me a skill up or not. Make one more. We'll make one more cloak. Doesn't matter. Who cares what we're making? But certainly to get yourself up to 25 and be able to unlock specializations, you're just going to be making a bunch of junk. Or maybe you're just going to make a whole bunch of reagent bags. That's also... I feel like that's maybe a thing. You'll just make some reagent bags or make some gear for a clothware that you happen to have. We can make blazing embroidery thread. Something that's not yet implemented, but it increases your profession skill gained by +1 skill, but crafting difficulty is increased. The Essence of Tear, which increases crafting skill by 30. That's an optional reagent, and I would use that maybe when you're making something difficult. This is a different type of cloth, vibrant Wildercloth bolt, and then we can also make the Wildercloth bag, which is your basic bag. They have given me 32 slot bags, embroidered deep sea bags. These are also apparently 32 slot bags, so depending on what you have, maybe you won't be making bags, buying bags, I don't know. Fishing cap. The fishing accessory gives you perception for fishing. Maybe that's so you can see pools. We don't know anything about fishing yet. We haven't seen fishing. And then Wisp of Tear, which is another reagent, finishing reagent, increases your skill by 30. All right, so that's so there's a few other things we can learn from the trainer. A chef's hat, cooking accessory at 30, an alchemist accessory at 35, an enchanter's accessory at 35, a polishing cloth that you gain 6 resourcefulness and 3 inspiration. I guess while crafting, it's a finishing reagent. And then vibrant spell thread you'll also learn at 45, which is spell thread. It's your leg enchant. Permanently increase int by 81. Your spell thread. Alright, so let's go back into tailoring. And we're gonna look at the specializations. Oh, I probably should buy that stupid book, right? Buy the find. There we go. Learn, buy the specialization book so that I can learn. Open properly. Let's gain some knowledge. There we go. We've got some knowledge. So we've got 4 different paths to take in tailoring. We have tailoring mastery, textiles, draconic needlework, and garment crafting. I'm assuming garment crafting is for making clothing, right? Specialize. Oh, I guess you have to start here. Improve at tailoring cloth armor to take on the most powerful foes in the Dragon Isles. And what do you... Alright. Get 10 plus 10 skill. At 5, you can learn a subspecialization. Inspiration, another subspecialization at 15. Resourcefulness, a third subspecialization. And then you end up being a faster tailor, and you get inspiration and resourcefulness when making armor. So there's 3 paths of making armor. There are outfits, which is chest and leg. Outerwear, which is hand, feet, head, and back. And then embellishments, waist, shoulder, and wrist. And I'm just curious what you can learn. Another subspecialization, inspiration, Dragoncloth tailoring vestments. So you it looks like you have to go a little bit deep into this before you can learn some more some more clothes to make. It does look like you're only going to be able to make the most basic of items at the beginning. You're going to have to you're going to have to pick a way to go, and you're not going to be able to unlock stuff until you go in here. Market tent. What is a market tent? I don't know what a market tent is. I guess we want to look at our unlearned. We're gonna want to see our unlearned. What is a market tent? Okay, vibrant wildercloth. Is that what it was telling you were gonna learn? Yeah. So if you want to learn level 70 gear, you're gonna have to go into the specialization. What the hell is a market tent? Market tent. It's a toy. Okay, so if you go into some of the specializations, you're gonna get a toy. All right, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with tailoring. let's be clear. I don't know what I'm gonna have one, but I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I don't make a whole lot in tailoring outside of bags. All right, so needlework. What is needlework? Needlework. Craft exceptional clothware with reagents such as azure weave and chronocloth. So, apparently you can learn a subspecialization right away with this. Inspiration when using azure weave and chronocloth. Resourcefulness. Learn to use finishing reagents that improve quality on azure weave and chronocloth. Resourcefulness, inspiration, and then you can learn a final subspecialization. Chronocloth tailoring. Secrets behind the bronze Dragonflight's time magic in tailoring. And you learn, when you pick this specialization, you learn how to craft a chronocloth bolt. I am not sure what chronocloth. I don't really know exactly what chronocloth is. Time weaving. Master the art of chronocloth bolts. So what does chronocloth go into? Oh, there's a whole section of chronocloth garments. Hey, Sir Borges. Okay, yes, I'm having fun, but I am so confused. There is so much to every profession that I'm going to need like 4 different spreadsheets and like a manual to figure all of this out. But at least I'm taking a look at it. I'm not gonna be going in completely blind. But okay, so this is chronocloth gear. Oh, this is some interesting. There's chronocloth sets. That few. Well, they're gonna have lots of tabs. Okay, they're gonna have lots of tabs. So it looks like one of the bigger reagent bag is gonna be a chronocloth. So if you want, this is okay. Big information. If you want to make the larger reagent bag, you will need chronocloth tailoring. From what I can tell, you will need chronocloth tailoring because that's the chronocloth reagent bag requires a chronocloth bolt. And you can only get that bolt if you have chronocloth tailoring. Let me undo that and let me make sure. Let me go to the bag section. Yeah, so if you want to make the larger reagent bag, go chronocloth. If you want to make the larger regular bag, not reagent bag, you want to make the bigger everybody bag, you're going to need to go Azure Weave. So that those are right here. So if you want to be able to make both of them, it looks like you put your you know, you go into this first, then apparently it looks like you can maybe learn you can learn a subspecialization immediately, and you can make a bolt immediately. But where do you learn that bag? I'm just very curious as to when do you get the recipe for the bag? I'm not, unless you have to get that recipe from somewhere, I'm not seeing it as a... That's where you learn leggings. I'm not, it's not clear where you pick up these recipes. I'm not seeing the bag showing up on any of these as a reward for, you know. And it looks like you can only pick one of these, or you're going to have to wait till you get 30 points in tailoring in needlework to get your other specialization. Yeah, you might need, well, you might need 2 tailors, but I guess the question becomes, and I've asked this basically every time we've looked at specialization trees. How quickly do you earn knowledge? And how difficult is it to earn that knowledge? Because if it's slow to learn, you're going to want more than one so that you can pick a different path for each person. But also, how much effort do you need to put into it to get that knowledge? It does look like there's quests to go do, but are they quests that take you like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour? How long does it take you to get that? And how many different characters are you going to be running? If you're going to have all the professions, are you going to have 2 or 3 of each person? And then is this going to be the new, it won't be the gold equivalent, but is this going to be the new equivalent? Is this what your alt army is going to do? You're going to log in, go do your quest for knowledge, and then do whatever crafts are specialized to that character. Log out, log into the next one. Does it take 2 hours for us? We don't know. We have no idea. So, but I'm also just not sure when you get to learn the bag. Like, where does the bag? How do you learn the bag? Obviously, I could go learn the bag from the trainer, but maybe you have to do. It looks like you're not just gonna get the bag recipe from having. You know, just from having the specialization. Hey, Percy, no idea. I have no idea. And I'm not gonna tell you something. I'm not gonna blow smoke up your ass and tell you something's gonna be one way, because I really just don't fucking know. But it is clear that reagent bags go chronocloth, regular bags go Azure Weave. I still haven't figured out what I'm gonna specialize in yet on my tailor. All right, we've got textiles. This is creation of various reagents and specialty items. Inspiration, get your sub-specialization. Did I know that that's a way to save them from drowning? I did not know. No. This is where your crafting speed comes in your textiles. Get your crafting speed. And then you can learn your final sub-specialization, and then learn to use finishing reagents to improve the quality of your specialty item crafts. So if you're garment crafting, you can't make finishing reagents or use finishing reagents on those garments unless you have gotten deep enough into unlock textiles and have thrown all of your points into textiles. Was it from that time you looked it up? So you can learn out of textiles, you can learn spinning, which makes you better at unraveling cloth and thread. And you will learn to occasionally extract rousing elements from certain types of wilder cloth. Interesting. Resourcefulness, skill, crafting speed, skill when unraveling cloth. And then learn to guarantee, can't spell, but that's okay. Rousing element from certain type. I don't know what a rousing element does. Do we have, what is a rousing? What, I don't, oh, that's what those, oh, the elemental things are called rousing. So rousing fire. So if you go into that specialization, go into textiles and spinning, you can get elementals from your, making thread. Interesting. You got it from a British TV show. Weaving, that is getting better at making bolts. Multi-craft for bolts. Multi-craft for bolts. We want multi-craft. Also, I think there's a cooldown on some of these bolts as well. Hey, Mr. Epic Monkey Fails. Hello. We're gonna look into that in a minute. I just want to look at all of these first, and then we're gonna see if there's a cooldown for bolts. Embroidery. This is being an expert at embroidering simple items such as polishing cloth and intricate items such as banners and bags. 15 resourcefulness when crafting items such as cloths, banners, and bags. Inspiration. Skill. Inspiration. Skill. Resourcefulness. And then use embroidery thread finishing reagents on polishing cloths, banners, and bags. All right. These are so deep. Like, unless they, like, I don't know if I want you to give knowledge away like candy or whether you want to make it hard for me to make money. I don't know yet. And then your basic your regular old tailoring mastery. Tailoring is faster. Inspiration and resourcefulness. +3 skill. You can get another, you learn an immediate sub. Oh, that's the final subs. I guess that's the end one. Subspecialization, skill, subspecialization, skill, and then sub. What does embroidery do? So embroidery, it says that it you can use, what is it? Embroidery thread finishing reagents. This gives you resourcefulness. Embroidery gives you resourcefulness when making cloths, banners, and bags. We all know what bags are. What is it? What was it? Polishing cloth? That's... Oh, maybe we need to use polishing and not the word cloth. So polishing cloth is, you gain resourcefulness and inspiration when you craft, or crafting skill and multi-craft. Those are things, these are finishing reagents that you'd put on when you're making something to kind of get more out of it. And let's look at banners. So these are for gathering professions. The banner, this is a banner of flora. You put down the banner, focuses the will of nearby herbalists, granting increased deftness and finesse when gathering for 10 minutes. I don't know what deftness and finesse do in the context of gathering of herbalism, because we don't have herbalism yet, but I'm guessing that's something you might want to do a better job at being a gatherer. And then there's a banner of geology, which is for miners. I don't really understand what that stuff is, but it seems like maybe this this embroidery is kind of what you do if you're just making kind of like the off items. You're not making gear itself, you're just kind of, you're making bags and banners. Regular old tailoring mastery has a couple specializations. We've got shrewd stitchery. It might. I'm not 100% sure what those words mean. Deafness and what was the other one? Um, deafness and finesse, but probably maybe you get more finesse. Maybe you're better at picking the flower and not destroying. You know, like pick it and you don't damage half of what you pick. I'm not, again, not really, not 100% sure, but probably faster and maybe getting a greater yield, maybe. Stitchery gives you inspiration. Let's see. Grant inspiration. Inspiration. Literally, this gives you inspiration. Every single node, inspiration. Sparing sewing. Oh, this is the one that saves you reagents. This is how you save on costs. Gives you resourcefulness. It saves 5% additional reagents when making tailoring goods. 10 resourcefulness. 10% additional reagents when crafting tailoring goods. But again, you can't do all of these things at once in the very beginning. Oh, if you max this out, you save 20% additional reagents when crafting tailoring goods. I don't know what qualifies as an additional reagent. And then cloth collection. This is what you would pick when you go out in the wild. This gives you, this lets you learn how to collect cloth more effectively. 1%, increased chance for cloth to drop in the Dragon Isles by 1% per point in this specialization. RC Gaming, hello! On unlocking this specialization, chance for cloth to drop from humanoids is increased by 10%. There's a lot of nodes in this one. That's increased by 10%. Chance increased by 10%. Increased by 10%, 10%. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100? So if you max this out, is that what it's telling me, that you get 100% chance for a humanoid to drop cloth? Is that what you're telling me? So if you're a tailoring bot, if you're a cloth bot, are you gonna max out your cloth drop? And then if you completely max it out, you get a chance to collect bolts of wilder cloth from humans. So so if you're a gatherer, if you like to go out and kill stuff, you like to do quests, you like to do things out in the world, maybe maybe you want to sell your cloth, maybe you don't want to use your tailoring to make stuff outside of stuff for yourself, maybe this is the route you go. But we're gonna go into draconic needlework. And go back, because do I have to put something in here in that? I guess I have to put something. Let me learn that, and we wanna go to chronocloth tailoring. And how far do we wanna, do I now know how to make a chronocloth bolt? No, I don't know how to make a chronocloth bolt yet. How far do we have to go to make a chronocloth bolt? I guess do I add... I'm an idiot. We're just gonna start all over again. We're gonna start all over. Okay. Draconic needlework. I want to learn chronocloth. There we go. So I had to apply it. Now I can make a chronocloth bolt. So I want to see if there's a cooldown on this bolt. Doesn't seem like there's a cooldown. Not according to this. Maybe there's not a cooldown. But let's make one. We need... How do I make a vibrant... I need a vibrant shard. Did we find out that we can't do that? Is Frost and Order and the Vibrant Shard. I don't know if those are all available. That's... I feel like there was maybe... I don't know who's gonna sell this stuff. I don't know who... You haven't found Vibrant Shard anywhere. Okay, well that sucks. There's the rousing. This person has all the rousing stuff. But yeah, no vibrant shard. Well, that sucks, because I wanted to see if that had a cooldown. And now that I've gone that way... and you can't make the Azure Weave either. So you can't make either of these bolts without the vibrant. Well, that stinks. That stinks. Because I'd really like to test that out to see if there's a cooldown on cloth. Because it doesn't say there is, but that doesn't mean that there isn't. Well, oh well. All right, so I guess the biggest lesson we learned is, at least I learned out of this, is if I want to make bags, I need to make sure to go into Draconic Needlework and either pick Azure Weave or Chrono Cloth, depending on whether I want to make reagent bags or regular bags. If I want to get better at making bags, I need to go into embroidery. And if I want to, and if I want to collect cloth off humanoids when I'm out in the world, I need to go to cloth collection. But so at least it looks like for this, these are your sub specializations, so you can do both the Draconic Needlework and we're gonna get up to 10 so that we can go into cloth collection. So you could have Draconic Needlework going, and maybe you just learn you just get your bolt. And I don't know whether bolts can be sold. I don't know whether there's no, it doesn't tell me whether this, I'm guessing this can be sold. Maybe you make bolts and you sell them to people. I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay, I think there is going to be I'm just reading this now. I think there is going to be a cooldown, because when you get into time weaving on both of them, it looks like, it decreases how quickly you exhaust the magic used to craft either Azure Weave bolts or how to craft Chrono Cloth bolts. The way I'm reading that is there's a cooldown. Does that sound reasonable? Let's add knowledge into this. I think it's just we're just learning how to craft stuff. Because I want to get down to that. There we go. Just want to get into this. Yeah, possibly similar to the alchemy explosion. Improve your connection with the magic of the bronze dragonflight, decreasing how quickly you exhaust the magic used to craft chronocloth bolts. So I'm wondering if it's not necessarily like a cooldown in the sense that we're used to cooldowns, but that you have a pool of energy, let's say, and it takes every time you make a bolt, it takes 10 energy away. Well, when you get into this, maybe it takes 8 energy away. And over time, perhaps that will that will make it better. And then you get multi-craft, so hopefully you can This is it's kind of like your transmute mastery. You're proccing more bolts when you make them. And multi-craft. And then more exhausted, even it takes even you get even more time to make bolts. I don't know exactly how that's gonna work because we can't make bolts. Out. But that's a lot to think about. What do you want to specialize in? Because this is also gear. Chronocloth is gear as well as garment crafting. And I don't know what's gonna be the vibrant Wildercloth set versus like the Chronocloth set. Let me just pick maybe one item to look at. And nobody knows yet. It might not be there. Maybe they don't want us to make it yet. I don't know. But so I'm looking at the vibrant. Let me see. Where's Chronocloth? Do we have we have belts? Okay. We have a Chronocloth belt. Okay, so Chronocloth has some whip. This makes sense. So I'm just clicking through some of this vibrant Wildercloth gear that you'd get if you went into the garment specialization. It looks like it doesn't have any... It's got stats and that's it. It's got some random stats and then... But there's nothing else on any of that stuff. If you go into either the Chronocloth gear or the Azure Weave gear, you have an equip... something on equip. Damaging spells abilities have a chance to trigger arcane energy. Rally allies to victory. They gain versatility. This is, you're recovering from a loss of control effect. You become empowered with possibility increasing haste. That doesn't have, the wraps don't have anything on them. The gloves are part of a Chronocloth set. And the set gives you damage and healing spells, a chance to store away moments of time. Upon reaching 20 stacks, you get haste. So, so it looks like the vibrant gear that you would get from the garment crafting is kind of like your basic level 70 gear. Whereas your Azure Weave and Chronocloth, which is a completely different path, you don't get to pick them both at the same time unless you have more than one character. These are have become set pieces, and you get bonuses for that gear. Flashback to farming benthic gear. And of course, these are all BOP. So this is stuff that you're not making unless someone orders it from you or you're wearing it yourself. What about this vibrant stuff? This is all BOP. So all of this is going to be such a change for your average player, and I don't know if WoW and Blizzard is doing a good enough job making this apparent from very early on. Generally speaking, when you hit level 70, you are not going to just be able to go to the auction house and buy gear. I don't see that that's the way this works. You can't just go... I have some people that just hit 60, and I'm like, let's go get some 233 gear, to give them an item level boost because they're wearing God knows what shit. So I go to the... I go to the auction house and I look for a new helm, or whatever random piece is my lowest piece. That's not how it's gonna work in Dragonflight. There aren't going to be those levels, in this case level 70 items just up on the auction house for you to buy, reasonably priced for you to buy. You're gonna have to work order them. they really need to push the work order. Yeah, because one of the things I see, unless, I mean, and we're not at Dragonflight yet, so maybe you will be beaten over the head with it once we get into it. Because I understand I understand them not beating you over the head with it in alpha, because we're testing very specific things. The way they've structured alpha is to test very specific things. And they're giving you, for the dungeons, they're giving you the gear, they're boosting your level and giving you the gear to, that makes sense for whatever it's having you test. So maybe in beta we'll see it, but if they don't reinforce that this is how it has to work, people are going to get frustrated. And I don't know why that just jumped all the way up there. Because average Joe isn't gonna, maybe you need one more piece of gear. You've done some questing, you've done some dungeons, and now you want to queue for heroic dungeon. I'm just guessing. Assuming that all of that works the way it does now. You need minimum item level X to get into heroic dungeons. And you're just a little bit shy. And you think, maybe if I just replace one piece of my gear, my lowest piece of gear, I'll be fine to go into dungeons. But what you don't know is that you can't just go to the auction house and shop for that piece of gear. You're gonna have to work order it. There's a quest the NPCs are in for the work order, but yeah, and so at least as of last week, work orders were only available for blacksmithing. I haven't gone. I don't know that you can you even go back to Valdrat? Is it Valdrat? Whatever. Can you even go back to the main city this week? I'm not sure. I know that Alpha's they're doing very targeted testing with Alpha, so I'm not sure that you can even get back to that town to go back and even test the work orders. No, it's not up this week. Okay, Percy. Thank you. So, I don't think it's meant to be, really fully tested during alpha. I think we're going to get more into the work order system in beta. We got a little preview of it last week with very limited information, only one profession we could look at and how it worked. But the average player it's going to be a huge change for how they obtain non-consumables. He tried to show how fucked the mailbox situation is this week. Everybody needs a Katie, I guess, but Katie doesn't keep a horrible cooldown. But we also don't know how, feedback it, of course, but we also don't know whether what we're seeing is set in stone or what's going on. But yeah, you need, if Ouroboros has taught us anything, we need lots of mailboxes. Lots of mailboxes. Yeah, one mailbox in an isolated area blocked by a big ass guard. That's we know from Ouroboros that's not helpful. Hopefully when we get to beta, there'll be another mailbox. Hopefully. So you have to order it. You wonder if it's going to be across. No. Well, so I think the answer is no. At least to start with. Because right now, the only thing going, and I don't want to say only because it is a large swath of items, consumables, basically things that stack. If you can stack it in your bags, it's going region wide. If you can't stack it in your bags, it's not. Gear is not stackable. So obviously this isn't an item you'd work order, but it's, these boots, pretend these are a higher item level. Boots work orders would be just for your server. At least to start. At least from what I understand, at least to start, work orders will be server specific. Much like any gear you're going to be able to buy is going to be server specific. They're not doing regional everything yet. And I say yet because I feel like that's where we're headed. But I could be wrong. Sir Borges, you remember finding a mailbox no one else found on your shard? It was super chill to not stand with anybody else. So you're gonna need to, I mean, I guess this is much like any smaller server. If you're already on a smaller server, you have to hope that you have people learning the right things. Like with legendaries, at least at the beginning, you had to hope that somebody on your smaller server learned, you know, scale/male legendaries if you were a male wearer, and that they didn't just put their money into leather, or that you had enough blacksmiths doing it, or whatever. That's not. I don't think that's gonna change. At least not right away. You're gonna need to hope that if you're a cloth wearer and you want some chronocloth gear, you're gonna have to hope that somebody on your server has gone chronocloth tailoring. On a bigger server, you're not gonna have that problem, but I don't think it's gonna be the same problem you had on a small server before. That part's not gonna get any better. The materials might be more readily available, but whether someone goes into the niche of crafting that you need for your gear is going to be a crapshoot. So yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with tailoring. I mean, I'm going to have a tailor, but I'm not, honestly not sure how do I go into chronocloth or azure cloth? Or do I just stick with regular garment crafting? Because I feel like this is going to be, like, these are the bread and butter things that people are going to maybe buy, but you're going to still have to go pretty deep into it to get an item. Like, if you want to craft the wilder cloth vestments, you're going to have to go from here to outfits to the chest. You want to make belts, you're gonna have to, after you've gone over here, you're gonna have to come to embellishments and over to belts. You're gonna have to level all of your guys' professions, so you have one of each. As always, why do you do this? Yeah, I'm thinking of dropping my blacksmith. I'm thinking of just not having a blacksmith at all, because I'm like, I don't have time for everything. And now I'm thinking, I'm like, I might just not do a whole lot of tailoring. Maybe I have my tailor to make bags for myself, because I can definitely make my own bags. At the very beginning, I'm going to be able to give everybody a boulder cloth bag if they need it. A 32 slot bag. I can give them a reagent bag. These are all things I can do right out of the box. But maybe we let my tailor sit. Maybe because it's almost like there's too much to decide on. I don't know where to go. And I can make some of the profession gear, but yeah, I hope so too. I have a feeling, Percy, that it's just an error in because, well, one, why would you? So if you can make this simply stitch reagent bag for basically one spool of wilder thread and one wilder cloth bolt, that's 10 pieces of cloth. That's it, 10 pieces. Why? And get a 36 slot reagent bag. Why would you deal with a chronocloth cooldown to get the same size bag? Like, that makes zero sense. Mr. Epic Monkey Fails, how do we get the knowledge points? We don't fully know that yet. I do know from testing last week that in the main city there were quests. I don't know if they're daily quests, weekly quests, monthly quests, whatever. To go out into the world and either kill something and collect an item, or gather some sort of item, bring it back to town, turn it in for, I think it was 3 knowledge points. I'm not I could be wrong on the quantity of knowledge points. Scribes will also eventually be able to make a treatise that um, that gives you knowledge points. However, Blizzard gave a little bit of clarification on those. They're single use. They'll be the treatise will be a single use item, and that you can only use it once a week. So that's a way, and we don't know how much. It's not clear exactly. I think how much knowledge you get from that yet. I didn't try any of those out. But again, and it's not something that a scribe can make immediately. They're gonna have to go into the treatise, the missives, and the missive tree, and then the treatise tree to get it. And I don't think it's not like it's gonna be, you know, day one we can start boosting our knowledge. So no one knows how quickly this is. They did say that I believe that it's been said that eventually you will be able to get enough knowledge points to unlock everything. But no, but like, is that going to be in 6 months? A year? Oh, I don't think they made the bag big enough. I don't think they will either. Particularly depending on which profession you have. There's so many new reagents. There's different qualities of every reagent. You know, maybe once you finally get to the point where you're using only the, you know, the highest quality, you're only gonna, you know, have that. But when you, like, for example, with the milling, when you mill, you're milling and getting 3 different qualities of pigments. You're getting random elemental type items. And you've got the flowers that you're milling, and you've got 3 qualities of every flower. Yeah, exactly, Percy. It's insane. I do think what I'm gonna do is make a. Can I make an issue for this recipe? Feedback. It appears this is also a 36 slot Asia bag. The same size as the simply stitched Asia bag, which requires fewer slash easier to obtain reagents. Should this be a larger bag? There we go. We're gonna feedback whatever we can. Yes, you can make you can make one reagent bag. You can make the simply stitched reagent bag. I do have the simply stitched reagent bag. Can old mats go into it? That's a good question. So, I guess, do I go, if I come over here, can I buy some random shit that would count as an old reagent? Yeah, so this is the Simply Stitched reagent bag. I've got my spool of Wildercloth and some Wildercloth in there right now. I'm guessing maybe would somebody over here maybe sell something that would be considered a reagent? Would we call Luminous Flux go pick a I can't pick a flower. I have other professions. But would like, well, Luminous Flux is an old reagent, right? That counts as an old reagent. That goes in went right into my bag. Elemental Flux. Durable Flux. Coal. These are all going right into my reagent bag. Let's see if there's anything else. Let me see. I'm lazy. I don't want to go pick a flower. Let me go see if the auction house is operational. Raptor eggs go into the bag. I'm gonna buy some silver leaf. Here, I bought an old flower for you, Percy. Right into the reagent bag. So, as of right now, at least these blacksmithing supplies, a flower has gone into the. Let me test a piece of ore, just cause I don't trust. I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust. Let's buy some copper ore. I'm suspicious as you are, Percy. All right, the ore went right into my bag. The silver leaf went right into my bag. I think maybe we're okay. Right? Like zero, like no trust. So it does look like that stuff goes in there. Obviously, I wonder if they don't flag. I don't necessarily have a problem with them not flagging the stuff for 1,000 yet, like the older mats to go up to 1,000 yet, because maybe there's a good reason for that. I don't know what that reason is, but I don't do any sort of coding, so I don't know. Well, right, that's true. They have had reagent stuff forever, like your reagent bank and stuff like that. So they've had profession bags. But, at least it does look like that's functioning properly. Good reason they don't give a fuck. We don't trust because we know how Blizzard is. Alright, so we're gonna look at, oh, wait, now it's working. So, okay, this makes sense. Do you remember when we were looking at, tailoring? Tailoring doesn't have those little, it has none of that shit on there. You see that? Tailoring's broken. Tailoring doesn't have, and I'm glad I submitted it. Hi, Coco. Tailoring doesn't tell you what has a skill up and what doesn't, visually. But apparently, this is what it's. Oh wait, now we've. Oh, I had it on. I had it to show unlearned. This is. I still think they should also change the text highlight stuff as well. But here, this little icon right over here, the little arrow, the little up arrows, that is now how you know whether something's going to give you a skill up or not. I don't really know engineering. The only engineering I do is old engineering. So we're gonna play around with this, but I don't really understand what I don't really understand what we're gonna be doing with this. So we're gonna buy a gnomish army knife because I think we need one, and then we need to get some ore. The linen cloth to the reagent bag. Oh, linen cloth. Okay, but why does the NPC glow? We don't know. Last time they boosted stack sizes, almost everything went up. You understood their qualities for old materials, but they can make it work, do it. Yes. This morning you had an alarm around 5 and Silas was like, get up! Time to have fun, human. You have no idea why you made that alarm. Oh. Well, Silas said, let's go. It's time to go. We're gonna buy the best quality because I don't care. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter right now. Alright, so... handful of bolts. This seems like normal. Oh, and what is this? Scrap? Piece of scrap. Can I buy a piece of where do we get scrap from? What's a piece of scrap? I don't know what scrap is. I don't see scrap. Oh, maybe I need to go to the right vendor for scrap. I want to know what this is. What's this? What's this scrap? I don't see scrap. Fuck that. Okay, well, there's no scrap. Alright, well, that was an interesting idea, but no scrap. A few weeks ago, you farmed out 209 ghost iron. Each new build you log on and try to combine the stacks. Yeah. Hopefully, eventually it'll work. Or maybe in beta it will work. Maybe wrong thing. turned off the alarm and he went down to sleep again, and so good. All right, let's also play the game of this is not gonna create all. I'm almost oh no, this is creating all. Okay, cool. So we're just gonna make some bolts. You added feedback for it. Good, Percy. I mean, I would, but I don't have, like, obviously it doesn't make sense for me to, because I don't have that situation, so I can't test it, but that's very helpful. All right, so are we really not gonna be able to get to like 10 with our bolts? But again, making bolts of something, making a handful of bolts seems pretty normal, and there's no guaranteed amount. Sometimes I'm getting 3, sometimes I'm getting 2. Because that's also how this works, apparently. And we're still not to 10. And I got Rousing Earth. Wow, this is... There we go, we got to 10. And our bolts went right into our bag. And interestingly, as we made bolts, we got... Oh, it only takes 1... Some of these I don't know whether these are going to be the right amounts or not, but you got earth, frost, and fire. Yeah, standard engineering. And like I said, I don't really know a lot about engineering because I have some very specific things I do in engineering, like making sky golems and a couple other mounts. So I don't really know what's going on. I'm not really the authority on engineering. But we're just gonna take a quick look at some of this. Apparently a lot of things you can make at 10. Alright, and this is working now. We've got our what will give us skill ups. Creature combustion canister. Throw the canister, exploding the nearest meaty corpse into chunks of meat. Well, we don't know if those are placeholders either. 50 silver, I don't know whether that's really how much it costs. Sometimes they, just because it's one price in alpha doesn't mean that's what it's gonna stick with. Specs. Okay, so we've got, engineering specific gear. This requires engineering. The goggles require engineering. And we've got one for each. We've got mail, leather, cloth, and plate. That makes sense. Blasting powder. Okay, again, this is perfect sense. I was just making blasting powder this morning. It took earth and fire to make blasting powder. Makes sense that this is the different version of earth and fire to make blasting powder. Gears. Takes a shock spring coil. Let's make a couple. Make some of these coils. When you have a vendor window open, with your crafting window, or with your profession window, and craft an item, the crafting complete window, I don't know, how do we want to describe this? It's extends off the visible area. I don't know. Like I don't like that's not right. Like it doesn't scale. Essentially, it doesn't scale so you can see all 3 windows on the same screen. Hopefully that makes some sense to somebody. I don't know. We're gonna pretend. All right, that didn't, so that's supposed to have some sort, oh, maybe I stopped it. I must have stopped it. Let's make 10. So I'm like, why did I not get any sort of skill up? This isn't, so green really means you're not getting shit. Like, you're not getting shit for a skill up. I guess I should make some gears. Is that gonna take the scale? Okay, that makes sense. If you're making a piece of scale gear, that makes sense. If you're making leather gear, you need to put leather in there. Cloth, you're not putting anything in. Okay, and then that gets, oh, you're putting cloth in. Reload. Alright, that totally makes sense. I think that makes perfect sense. Let's just make some greased up gears. It takes up like a piece of leather, a piece of ore, a piece of cloth, whatever. Let me learn some more things. See what those are. Again, I don't really know a lot about engineering, so I'm not really. These are just parts that take elemental stuff. That seems to make sense, and all of the other little random things you can make: gears, bolts, springs. Plane displacer grants. Oh, this is a punch card. So it looks like if you were to make the goggles, it has a punch card hole slot, whatever, and you can put a punch card in there, and this punch card is invisibility. That's kind of cool. Razor sharp gear. This is an optional crafting reagent that makes the recipe more difficult. Provides the following property. Allocate the secondary stats of engineering crafted goggles or bracers. Critical strike. Okay. That's interesting. So you can kind of like push your secondary stats to something else. Bottomless stone crust ore satchel. Oh, that's a mining accessory. Okay. So it seems like there's a lot of different profession equipment. We're gonna, at some point we're gonna have to like make this, it's the engineering version of Missive. At some point, gonna need to go through and take a look at all of, like, there's a lot of equipments that I've seen so far, and across a lot of different professions making different things. So very, very interesting. What is that? Okay, so I'm just trying to see what interplay there is between professions. Your jewel crafters make some of the stuff that goes into a lot of these have this frameless lens. And that is a reagent that jewel crafters can make. So jewel crafters and engineers, maybe they've been friends in the past, but I wouldn't know that because I didn't do BFA. I didn't do any BFA engineering, and I didn't do any Shadowlands engineering. So I don't know anything about that. Yeah. I want to just, I'm gonna make these. What I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to get to 25 so that I can see what what these specializations look like. Again, not sure I'm even gonna have engineering, but oh, apparently you can learn some more stuff as you go. There's been some spelling issues all over the place. So these cogwheels, I've learned a couple more. Mastery, versatility. It makes sense that we're getting haste, and then there's the crit strike. That makes perfect sense. Let's just keep going with stuff that gives a good... Again, I'm not really caring so much what I'm making. Just trying to get up to 25 at this moment. All right. And then what are we going to learn? We can learn that's an engineering accessory. A permanently enchant a ranged weapon. Oh, it's yeah, a scope. But this grants you 263 of a random secondary stat for 30 seconds every time you jump. Yeah, I don't jump ever. I hate jump. Let's see. Deconstruction charge, fire damage. Fisher friend, there's a fishing tool. Everybody gets that Essence of Tear. Draconium knife, that's a jewel crafting tool. And let's look at specialization. This and this. Let me buy the little specialization book. You jump a lot. I never jump. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I am left-handed, so left hand goes on mouse, right hand goes on keyboard. Right hand goes on the numpad of the keyboard. What button is my jump button? Spacebar. How hard is it for my little thumb to reach over to the spacebar? Impossible to reach from the numpad. Should I put jump on something else closer? Absolutely. In how many years of WoW have I not done that? All of them. Will I change now? Hell no. Yeah. Left hand, left hand, mouse. Can you? Oh, I can't make it. The mouse won't. The mouse is tied down. But mouse, keyboard here. We use our right hand here on the numpad. Literally nobody does that except me. I don't know. Do other left-handed people not play that way? I don't know what left-handed people do. Maybe left-handed people aren't allowed to play video games. You're left-handed as well, but you use the mouse in the right hand. I can't. Like, my right hand has no abilities. None. I can't. Every time I like when I was in school and I would go to like a room that had a computer in it, first thing I did was move the mouse to the other side. Well, I guess I'd move it to that side every time. Like, nope, the mouse goes over here. Thank you. And my mouse isn't, so it's because I have it tied so that the dogs can't get tangled up in it. My mouse doesn't curve. I don't really have a gaming mouse. My mouse isn't curved. It's just straight sides. So it can be, it's not curved to fit a right hand. It's just, it just is. But the side buttons are not thumb buttons. Yeah. And, there wasn't really an option for people like me back in the day. So, I just used a basic mouse and learned to live with it. And I've never used a mouse with more than two thumb buttons because they're not on my thumb. I got up early, Ellie. Reason you jump a lot, you're moving left with button A and you have an instant spell on keybind. So I don't use the key. I don't use the letter keys at all. Ever. We don't put our hands on the letter keys. We don't touch that part of the keyboard ever. You were like this 10 a.m. start. You thought you were on time for once. I hate to set a schedule because, at least like a time schedule, because I will literally just sit here playing WoW, until, if I say, okay, I'll start at 10, I will literally just be sitting at my computer playing WoW until 10 o'clock. So I'm like, why am I not live? Because I'm not going to do anything. I mean, occasionally I do go out and do stuff in the morning, but, But if I don't need to go run any errands or something, I'm like, well, literally just sitting here. Right, Percy was here. All right, let's look at these specializations in engineering that I won't understand because I don't understand engineering. we've got our regular, this is your general engineering. You gain skill in engineering, learn a subspecialization. Once a day, you can summon a vendor for 5 minutes that allows you to exchange excess engineering parts for a small amount of crafting reagent. That does not work yet, not yet implemented, so we can't check that out. Percy got high last night, fell asleep at 1 a.m., so you're up at 7. Interesting, but it says not yet implemented, so we're not gonna try and summon the vendor that you can summon once a day. Alright, but interesting. Another sub-specialization of this. Your summoned vendor will now accept payment in bombs. Oh my lord. Engineering is just fun. Inspiration, another subspecialty. Your summoned vendor will now accept payment in tankers. And a plus 15 crafting bonus. All right, so what are these basic specializations? Pieces, parts. Specialize in crafting basic parts. Craft it, increase your crafting speed on parts. Skills when crafting reagents. Inspiration, resourcefulness, skill, multi-craft. Whenever you create a basic engineering reagent, you have a chance to receive a random rousing element. All right, that was kind of like in the tailoring. You could get rousing elements. Normally you take edibles, your father-in-law brought over a blunt. Much stronger than you remember. Scrapper. Specialize in making the most out of seemingly useless junk. Whenever you use your devices or throw bombs, you have a chance of recovering a piece of scrap. Okay, that makes sense for that crafting thing. You can rummage through your scrap to uncover truly useless but valuable components that can be peddled off to uninformed buyers. Oh my. Oh my. Alright, crafting skill from inspiration. Rummage through scrap has a chance of finding undamaged parts. Learn how to create a Zap Throttle Soul Inhaler, which allows users to harvest the souls of powerful elementals when slain. I don't know exactly what that's gonna do. More crafting skill, resourcefulness, and then rummage through scrap has a chance of finding unique treasures. So I guess if you use your devices a lot or plan on using your devices a lot or throwing bombs, then maybe Scrapper makes sense because then you're gonna get stuff back. Generalist. All +5 skill to all engineering crafts per point. Okay. Multi-craft. Craft bonus skill, resourcefulness, crafting skill, crafting speed, crafting skill. Reduce the likelihood for your bombs to explode in your face or tinkers to malfunction. Yeah, let's not get hurt. Okay, so that's the basic 3 that you get. We've got explosives, function over form, and mechanical mind. So, explosives is kind of what it says, explosives. Specialize in the creation and use of explosives for yourself and safer ones to be used by others. So, crafting speed for bombs. Gain a better understanding of how to handle your own death traps, reducing the likelihood of bombs exploding in your face. Bombs used in outdoors have a reduced cooldown. Conceal bombs in your pockets, which cause you to explode on death while outdoors in the Dragon Isles or in unrated battlegrounds. Okay. I'm not going to become... this is probably not something I would take. Damage dealt by bombs on the Dragon Isles is increased. Learn how to create an I win button, which allows you to cause massive damage in a large area once per day. I mean, if you're into like blowing stuff up, that's cool, but I probably wouldn't pick this. Creation, this is further improved production of bombs. So we've got skill, multi-craft, crafting skill. They reset at 11 Eastern. So in an hour. Whenever you craft a regular bomb, you have a small chance to also create an easy throw variant of the same bomb at quality 1 if you know it's static. Interesting. Again, but I don't really care about bombs. Short fuse, specialize in creation and use of bombs without safety fuses. Gain a better understanding of how to handle your own death traps, reducing the likelihood of bombs exploding in your face. So this is safer bombs. Chance of recovering salvageable parts when digging through meat piles caused by bombs. I'm not sure I want to dig through a meat pile. Maybe I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to get hurt. Camping a rare, you want to know when you have to start the character loop over. Survivors of your bombs now bleed for extra damage. Learn how to create a suspiciously ticking crate, which gives you a large assortment of bombs once a day. Are there engineers out there who just like making random bombs and like just throwing them all over the place? Oh, nice. They dropped under 190. I bought a bunch when they were in that like 190 to 190, like 192 to 197 range. And I was holding off on buying any more until they're under 190. So I might be buying more today. All right, easy throw. Learn how to create assorted safety fuses, which is a crucial component in the creation of easy throw bombs. They're expensive, but far safer version of your explosives for non-engineers. Pencils for 200k, you're not buying it. Easy throw bombs, resourcefulness, another easy throw bomb, multi-craft, final easy throw bomb, suspiciously silent crate, which gives you an assortment of easy throw bombs. So this one gives you a ticking crate, and this one gives you a silent crate. All right, we're probably not going to go into explosives. Function over form. Specialize in creation of practical items used by adventurers and craftsmen in their everyday routines, such as equipment and their accessory necessities. Okay. This gives you plus 10 crafting speed for equipment and their enhancement. All right. Subspecialization. Unlock the ability to use spare parts on equipment. Learn how to create haphazardly tethered wires. A finishing reagent that will improve the outcome of your crafts somehow. Subspecialization, resourcefulness, skill, subspecialization, inspiration. Learn how to create an overcharged overclocker, spare part finishing reagent that will improve the outcome of your crafts somehow. All right, gear. This is improved creation of combat gear, combat equipment. Inspiration, skill. Learn how to infuse your combat equipment crafts with reagents. Learn how to use Essence of Tyr to improve the quality of your gear crafts. Learn how to use a variety of optional reagents. Bonus crafting skill. Cogwheels. Calibrate engineering bracers. Okay, so those cogwheels I was getting, you can't use them until you specialize in function over form and max out your gear specialization. Gears for gear. Improve the creation of professional equipment, cogwheels, and special reagents. Optional reagent schematic of your choice. Resourcefulness. Another optional reagent schematic. Learn how to use Essences of Tyr to improve the quality of your profession gear crafts and wisps of Tyr for your cogwheels. Another optional reagent schematic. Plus 20 multi-craft for profession equipment and cogwheel crafts. And learn the final optional reagents. Pattern, whatever, schematic. Utility. Further improve the creation of ammunition scopes and jumper cables. When you learn this, you learn how to create completely safe rockets, which is a set of ammunition that will deal a small amount of area damage with ranged weapon attacks. Resourcefulness. Endless stack of needles. It's a set of ammunition that will cause the target to bleed. Do you do more archaeology or some islands? Ellie, I stayed up until 11 o'clock running islands. It's totally your fault. More skill. High intensity thermal scanner, which is a weapon scope that grants stats based on the type of target being attacked. Multicraft. And learn how to create a reusable jumper cables, which is the set of actual functional jumper cables exclusive to engineers that is both reusable and more likely to succeed. I was doing heroic because I was doing them by myself, so I couldn't. I don't really understand islands in general. I'm not really good at them, so the best I could handle was heroic. I know. Usually, I don't know how I stayed up that late. Well, I did sleep until 8 o'clock yesterday, so I guess that extended my bedtime a little bit. Alright, Mechanical Mind. Specialized in the creation of intricate gizmos, gadgets, whirligigs, and tinkers. You went to bed at midnight and you woke up at 9:30. Alright, this is learn how to create a wormhole generator. Okay, well this makes sense. People love the wormhole generator. Portable workstations you place last twice as long. Learn the subspecialization, multicraft. Cooldown on your utility oh, that's nice. Cooldown on your utility devices is decreased or is reduced by 50%. That's nice. Improve your understanding of your own explosives and devices, reducing the likelihood of tinkers malfunctioning and bombs exploding in your face. Learn how to create something. It doesn't say. It's learn how to create something. Which is a friendly and helpful robot who will offer moral support and a team-wide resurrection in the event of an untimely demise. Oh my goodness. So if you go deep into Mechanical Mind, you learn how to make a robot who can resurrect your team. How many people is your team? Team-wide resurrection. Well, or leave them up and hope someone buys them before reset. Alright, so we've got 2 specializations out of Mechanical Mind. Inventions. Islands it is as you wait on breakfast. So inventions. Improve the creation and use of tinkers specifically rather than gadgets and whirligigs. Tinkers can no longer catastrophically malfunction. Well, that's good. Improve your understanding of the mayhem you are capable of unleashing, reducing the likelihood of tinkers malfunctioning. Skill, inspiration. Further improve your understanding of mayhem and reduce the likelihood of tinkers malfunctioning. Resourcefulness. Skill. And then the final one gives you learn how to create Super Kaleidotron, which is a tinker usable only by engineers such as yourselves that allows you to mark a very distant target to charge toward at the speed of sound. Novelty. Embrace your whimsical side to learn how to create a variety of surprisingly safe inventions to entertain yourself and those around you. And then you also gain bonus crafting skill. Whenever you cast Fireflights, you also immediately cast it for free. I don't know what Fireflights is. Learn how to create a centralized precipitation emitter, which is a toy that allows party and raid members to experience the thrill of Azeroth's weather on their own terms. Interesting. Cartomancy cannon that allows you to fire fated fortune cards at friendly targets. Sometimes wishing someone good luck just isn't enough to get the point across. Element-infused rocket helmet, which is a toy that propels you far into the sky. It's probably safe because you said so. Giggle goggles that allow you to view the world as though it were overrun with gnolls. Environmental emulator, which is a toy that allows party and raid members to perceive their surrounding environment in unexpected but familiar ways. And then at the bottom, you learn how to tap into reply code transmitters scattered across the Dragon Isles to triangulate your wormhole generator to specific locations. Ooh. let's look at those recipes. Let me filter for unlearned because I'm interested to see what are those tinker. Oh, these are punch card items. Let's see. Devices. Cartomancy cannon. Precipitation emitter. Rocket fused helmet. We talked about some of those are things you learn from leveling up your specialization. Wormhole generator. That takes a black dragon seared alloy from a blacksmith. Interesting. Hopefully that's something you can buy. Reusable jumper cables. Carelessly cross a few frayed wires within the vicinity of a fallen ally in a desperate attempt to jolt them back to life with 60% health and 20% mana. And then the realistic ones, frighten a dead ally with the threat of powerful electrical shock, restoring them to life, castable in combat. Sometimes you fail to make a compelling case. Item quality affects cast time. That one, yeah, these are both usable in combat. So we've got reusable jumper cables and convincingly realistic jumper cables. Look at the pets. All right, we'll get to them. Expedition multi-box. Help. No flare. A portable alchemy table. It probably will not explode. So is that maybe in like a raid you put down your alchemy table and let your alchemist do stuff? Portable engineering table. Neural silencer. Duckoi. Oh my god. The robotic duckling. Oh my god, I want one. He self-destructs though. That's sad. Don't like that. And then Quacky is the companion. Oh my god. What does it take? It takes a duck feather. Quacky tracker core. Finds when it's a what is the Quacky tracker core? Machine chassis, that's normal. Malagite, that's from a jewel crafter. So where is this Quacky? Where does the tracker core come from? Don't know. Guess we don't know where that comes from. Because we don't want to see any of those other ones. Don't know, but I want a Quacky. Tracker core. Where does that come from? Nobody knows. It's not something you craft. So who knows where that comes from? So interesting. Maybe I will play with engineering, but I don't know. I feel like almost that it's more like for funsies, like not necessarily. Although it does make some professional equipment. I guess I'll have to think about that because I don't like it feels like a lot of this stuff isn't like you're not gonna make a whole lot of money off this stuff, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sold yet on engineering. Let's see. I'm not sold. Bombs and potions for alchemy do not share cooldowns at the moment. Interesting. Very interesting. And let's look at we're gonna look at Quacky because we just are. So this is Quacky. Quacky looks adorable. I want a Quacky. I will pay for a Quacky. That's so super cute. There are a lot of pets that I what's the jewel crafting? I don't know what the jewel crafting pet is called. And that's not really helpful to just scroll through the whole thing, but, what is that damn jewel? Oh, there they are, the whelplings. The little cute little whelplings. I can't wait to make these. I want one of everyone. And they're like panthers, but they're whelplings. They're adorable. They're so cute. Look at them all. Look at how cute they are. Oh my goodness. Look at how cute. I can't wait to make those. My jewel crafter will absolutely be crafting whelplings. I don't care what I have to do to make it happen. We're making whelplings. All right, well, I think that's enough playing around in alpha. Again, every time we're in alpha, it raises more questions than answers. I still don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm gonna go with all the professions. I don't know what specialization I'm gonna pick, but I guess it's okay. It's still early. We don't have to make those decisions yet. But definitely more questions than answers. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna top off my coffee, and we're gonna hop into retail for a little bit. Don't go anywhere.